Welcome back to another episode of Henry Castle.
Yay! I'm so excited. I feel like I've been having deprivation.
This has been the biggest hiatus since the show's history started.
Since the show's begun, the most massive gap that we've had.
Yeah, it's been like at least 3 weeks or
too.
something.
Yeah. So we've had heaps going on, as I'm sure everyone's had heaps going on, because I feel like this, Michael, what are you doing?
Celebrating, we're back on the air.
You're celebrating.
Back on the web.
And I was trying to get into the fact that you've broken your pinky finger. Go into it, Mike. It's disgusting. Do you want to show everyone on the camera what happened? Oh, no.
Look at it. Look at it.
It's so bad. We should have warned people before you did that. That was full
I have to
on.
live with it, alright?
I have to live with it too.
It's not even broken. It's just severely wounded.
The fingernail was broken and then it got pushed by a weight back into the flesh.
Through the finger.
Through the finger.
Out the other side. Well, through the top and out the back.
It was so disgusting.
Yeah, it was very unlucky.
And then the doctors had to open the flesh to pull the nail out. I don't know how you did it, Mike.
Yeah, they were like ripping apart my finger and then they had to like chop the nail out. And then here we are.
Yeah, so that's what's been happening.
Put some stitches in, or sutures they called them.
Little sutures. So Mike's found it really hard to set the podcast up because it takes a lot of getting ready with different equipment.
Plus, I think that week I just didn't want to do it. It's just I could barely do anything really with my hands. So you're just sort of like managing life.
There was a lot. Yeah.
But and then we went to Melbourne.
We went to Melbourne. Wow! Go Melbourne! Shout out for Melbourne.
Woo!
Woo!
So I've been in Melbourne before, but not properly. This felt proper to me.
Yeah.
I went 2 other times, and those times were ridiculous.
It was so short. We still only went for 2 nights. We're there for 3 days.
Yeah.
I wish we were there for longer.
Yeah.
I love traveling.
Got to be in the city and sort of explore.
Yeah, it was mad. And we got treated. We were at a very glam hotel. Shout out to the Grand Hyatt. And little Ted, he was up on club lounge level, being a superstar. No, it was super fun. So that's what we've been up to. And what else? So many other things. But yeah, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
And we've been doing lots. I feel like we've been studying almost.
We're so busy. We're like the busiest non-busy people ever.
No, but we've been like studying podcasts, don't you reckon?
Well, I've been listening to
We've
Kill
been
Tony.
listening, yeah.
Kill Tony is such a good show.
Kill Tony's so funny. Yeah. If anyone's not checked it out, check it out. Kill Tony. It doesn't have the most appealing name as a girl or as me. I don't know, it just didn't really.
Yeah, I never really like glued with the name in the past.
But the show.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what it was about, and then it's just like any book, you shouldn't judge it by its cover or whatever.
Kill Tony sounds like a murder investigation series. Not my cup of tea.
Well, I think it's just a play on words. Like Tony Hinchcliffe is the host, and the whole idea is to go up there and be funny, and sometimes sort of try and like be funny at Tony.
Yeah.
Like try and take him out. I think that's the gist of it.
Try to roast him.
Yeah, some people would go, but he's so clever. He just gets you right back.
Yeah, so you have like the first episode, and they've got a bit of a shambles set up, and we're like,
well, we went and watched the very first episode 10, 15 years ago, and they're in the dark.
Who did? Oh, we did, just like rewinding back through scrolling.
Well, they're up to episode 700 and something now, and it's a full-on production. There's
it's crazy.
A live band and really famous guests.
But it makes you realise the potential, right? Yeah. So you can start off, and if people don't know, like the joke of Henry Castle is that we're in a cupboard.
It's getting hot in here, eh? I think it's because it's summer.
It's getting really hot, and little Teddy's sleeping in his room next door, but we're in our bedroom's walk-in wardrobe.
It's funny because you're in here. Look at you. Sophie's been away from the podcast, just getting hotter and hotter. Look at her.
No.
Walk everyone through what's happening.
What's happening? Well, we've got... I was thinking about, I think it's a bit of a funny concept how when people have events coming up, it's like you've got to like show up at the event and like show up your best self, living your best life, and I'm here look at me.
Yeah,
There's
look
a
at
bit of that
Sophie.
going on.
I'm just like, I can't train anymore with my finger, so I'm just getting weaker. I'm shrinking and all like feeble.
don't
And you're
look
just
like you're
looking hot
shrinking.
and look at your hair and it's beautiful, working out.
My mom and dad are probably listening.
Yeah, I'll say you look good.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Then yeah, but it's quite funny. It's when you have an event, it's like, let's do those little things that make a difference. Teeth whitening, get your roots done, do some highlights, and yeah, wham bam shabam. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So,
I reckon everyone's been missing us, so like my nana was asking where the podcast was at. She said to my mum, "What's going on?" She's like, why haven't I heard any of the podcasts lately? Like, my mum will play it out loud and Nana will listen to it.
That's just sad.
Yeah, it's sweet and sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had, some of my friends as well are like, oh, like I wanted to listen to you guys on the drive to work. But there was no podcast. But here we are, we're back. And I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I feel like, what's the vibe, Mike? Are we going to do...
We're back. We've got absolutely nothing to talk about.
We've got everything to talk about. How many episodes are we planning on doing a week? Is there going to be a bit of like a rhythm that we can get into?
I'm thinking we should try to do one a week.
One a week. I think that sounds awesome.
Because I think like if you go too many, people start to feel overwhelmed that they're not able to listen to all of them, and then they probably just stop altogether.
It's definitely committed, but not, too full on. I feel like you do too much, and then it's just a bit...
Like, I don't think we burnt out. It just was that we were just doing 2 or 3 a week, and then all this stuff happened with the travelling and the finger, and there's been, like, Teddy was really unwell. He had, like, a flu or something.
Yeah.
He was very sick.
Oh,
so, all these things, he's not napping, so he has to nap for us to do the episode. So if he can't nap, we can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway... Once a week, tune in.
I think once is good because I think then you can like build on that, and then you're not too obsessed with it, you're not listening to it, and you're just not too caught up about it, and then you can do other things in life and come back to it.
Do you love how we have this opportunity, this ability to record a video, record audio, and we can connect with whether it's our friends or our new friends, and we can, we can travel over countries. We can like be instantly over like the other side of the world. That is like transportation.
Yeah.
Teleportation. I meant to say teleportation and transportation. Teleportation is transportation.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm on the other side of the world when I realise I'm still in the cupboard. And damn, it's hot in here, right? It's so hot.
It's a
like
hot
you
cupboard,
are making it hotter, but like it's actually
God.
just hot in here. I think it's summer, it's becoming hotter.
Yeah.
It's
I look like I'm getting all chewy, but
in
it's
Australia,
twilight.
it's September now.
Yeah.
So we started this in winter or autumn or something.
Okay. Yeah, it was winter. It was a lot cooler.
So now we're gonna really get into summer. See what happens.
You guys are gonna watch us in our little
You know what we can do? We don't
studio.
have the aircon on and that'll make it cold.
That's nice. We're going to be sweating. I don't even sweat, but it must happen at some point. Yeah. I'm just waiting for you to ask a question.
Hey, so
I remember right at the start, Mike would be like, just have a pause. Pauses are good.
yeah, well, that's nice.
Pauses are nice.
Yeah, I think I was being a bit overwhelmed, just like doing it again because I just with the finger. Once you I think a finger injury sounds so silly.
It sounds so silly, especially the pinky.
Yeah, it sounds dumb, but I couldn't get it wet. I can't do anything with it. They're like, don't do anything, but I still have to do all the stuff I have to do.
Yeah.
So you have to use your left hand. So I'm right-handed, so it's my right pinky. So then I have to do everything with my left hand. So I have to like wash everything with my left hand. I have to do all the dishes. I have to like take out rubbish. Like somebody got to figure out how to like hold things and open doors and carry things and.
It's funny how you can have like one thing happen and it's impacted on life a lot, and it's so little.
Well, I had to go to the hospital. So it was so sickening when it happened.
You look like a transformed.
Yeah, I was in the gym and it just got crushed accidentally, and then I had to go to hospital. It was just bleeding out everywhere. It was like it was so much blood.
So much fun.
But yeah, then I think it just sort of messes you up a bit because you're just thinking, oh no, like you're not working out.
Can I just say, Michael's dealt with this like a champion. I don't know, you're saying that it's affected you a lot, but from my perspective, I'm like, Michael's like risen above and beyond. It's almost like you've exceeded almost what you were doing previously. I feel like within getting stuff done, don't you feel? It's almost like being away from the gym, and it's only for an hour in the morning. But it's like Mike and I were saying, we've been away from the gym, but then you get live, and I've been still going.
Yeah.
But when we're both off, we are so productive, and I don't know what it is. It's like instead of doing a grueling workout, we're like, let's get through the to-do list, and we're doing it like someone's kind of shouting at us, like a teacher. We're like do it.
I think because you wake up and you gotta have like breakfast, you're getting ready to go, and then you leave, and then you're there.
And then we're like, we don't have anywhere to go. Let's do some jobs.
Yeah. So yeah, the focus just becomes not going there. I think when you go, I have to look after Teddy, and then then when you get out, you want to go eat, do something, and then like it's just the day, the productiveness that you could have done instead of going to the gym in the morning. How
do you make yourself productive during the day? Do you feel like you need to write a list? Because
I'm
such a list girl.
Yeah, I heard something recently, and it was about Steve Jobs and then Elon Musk, and they were saying that Steve Jobs was really good at sort of prioritizing the things that need to get done. Like there'll be a list of 20 things, and get the main things done. They call it signal and noise. So signal was the most important things, and then noise was all the extra activities that get in the way of the most important things in your day. And they were saying like Steve Jobs was quite cruel to his employees. They were saying like really mean. This was like a former employee of his or someone who used to work with him.
I feel like I'm like that with you sometimes. I'm like, Michael, we need to do this. Come on, get up.
Yeah. Well, it's tough when like you've got your own priorities when someone else has their priorities. What they want to do. But they're shared priorities. But it's like you got to figure out what's the most important thing you have to do. Like what's the most deadline heavy task on the list. Like what needs to be sent, emailed to somebody. What needs to be bought for the baby that he needs. He needs to have a better sleeping suit because he was too hot last night. He overheated and couldn't sleep. So he needs a.
So why was Steve Jobs mean to everyone? Is it because his mind is so gifted, and then he's frustrated because other people are just human?
Yeah, probably. So, yeah. Look,
it
wasn't a thorough investigation about what Steve Jobs was like, so I can't say to that. It's just one person was talking, and they were just saying that he was ruthless, and he probably was smarter than everyone and quicker than everyone, and he had this ratio of how good it was at like 30 to 70% or whatever it was of signal and noise. But he goes, the only person that's better than Steve Jobs is Elon Musk, and they're like, he has 100% signal and zero noise. Like he doesn't let anything get in the way of the main task he's doing. Like if he has to do something really important, that gets done. There's nothing that would stop it. And regardless of people who don't like Elon Musk or whatever, doesn't really matter if you like Steve Jobs, you hate Apple or whatever. There's something to be admired about
some people do
getting things done that need doing, because if you don't, then life is always chaos.
Yeah. I feel like it's almost an undervalued skill. Like we learn it obviously through going to school. But it's interesting how, like, I can think of some of my friends, like, just as a little sample group, some people are very, like, good and organized, and other people are just, like, all over the place, and it's, like, impossible almost to see them, because their life is just...
yeah, if you're not on top of... It's
almost like a bomb that's, like, exploded, right?
Yeah, if you're not on top of the to-do list, you really don't feel good about certain things in your life, so... Yeah. You could say like I put all sorts of things on the list. I might put actual activities that need to get done, so things we need to buy, or an email that needs to get sent, or I need to put down like a psychological thing, like I need to be better at doing this sort of thing, like I need to make sure I don't drink milk or something.
Psychological. What? I was like, what are you gonna say? Psychological.
Or like things like not
You're going deep.
noticing if I'm getting like upset, like
Yeah.
unnecessarily or angry or something. Just at things in the day, like just to keep a check on that. Like just put down anything on the list. Like put it down and then put an effort towards fixing it.
And this is all on your iPhone, I imagine, right?
Yeah, I have like 2 lists. I have one list is to do now and then to do later. So to do now is whatever you can possibly do now, and then something later is something that you can't do yet, but you need to wait to for something else to happen for that to happen.
What about like something that's on the list that you need, like you don't really need to do now, and you could do it later? Like, is that in the later list? Or is that in a separate...
I get a bit overwhelmed if I have too many things on the to-do now list, because Sophie will keep saying, do this, and this, and then I'll have things I want to do, and then she'll add to it, and then it'll be like, if it gets over 20, I start to freak out, going, that's not too much stuff to do.
You do. You almost start shaking.
It just seems like there's a lot to do, and it's tough with Sophie and the baby, because... Yeah, Sophie... her...
What are you going to say?
Just her Sophie-ness. Trying to get Sophie to do things that she doesn't feel like doing.
Can we just like let everyone know, excuse me, this morning I've had a job to do and Michael's been on my back about it and I've been putting it off. I scrubbed the lounge. Yeah. I was like, it felt like I was doing a workout. I felt my obliques. I was going side to side. I was getting puffed out and I cleaned mold. There was like a patch of mold. I think it's because we live by the coast and it's like a more humid
I don't know why it's in that one spot, but either way, it's just there.
It was in that one spot. I was having
Can't
to
have mold
rub
around.
it.
Mold's on the list. You know?
It's on the list for, like a few, like a week. You've been like on my back.
Well, we had mold on the curtains, so I had to wash the curtains.
Yeah.
And then
this has become like an episode about mold. How interesting.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, all the curtains and then the chair you had in Teddy's room and the poof as well. Them both had mold on them, so they had to get clean and put in the sun. So yeah, just ticking off
mold is creepy. It's kind of like...
Well, some people freak out about mold. They say it's like toxic mold and they have like issues when they're older.
It is.
They grow up and they're like, oh my god, I was exposed to mold when I was a kid and now I have
My
this
mom
issue.
said there was mold in the bedroom I grew up in. And I learned that a week ago and that could explain a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if she's saying that to like normalise the fact that we have mold.
I know, I was like...
Don't worry about it. You had mold, you're fine.
You're fine. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I wish I was fine if I didn't have mold in my room. I think life could have been different.
Explains it all now.
Oh my gosh. So, I was walking back from the beach, and you know why it was the best thing? Because of my Barbie phone. The Barbie phone made the biggest difference, because usually I would look at Ted and I'd see little cute things he was doing, and I'd get out of like the moment that we were in, which was Ted was walking past some like really cute plants, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, it was almost like a country idyll, they call it, like a romanticized like experience in the country, and there was like the flowers and like a little baby. It was the sweetest thing. And I was full in the moment, and I just had a realization, if I had my iPhone still with me, I would not be in that. It was like a bliss state. It was kind of like fully charged, like the most beautiful moment. And I just felt fully present, and I was just so aware that phone would have ruined it. I'm so glad that I know that like I need it because of my MS stuff, but I'm grateful that it's kind of like turned out this way. It's like a kind of like bittersweet thing. Yeah. So grateful.
Yeah, like you're being forced not to use an iPhone, but if everyone else was forced not to use it, then find happiness.
I swear everyone would be like just on a more zen level.
Can people remember what it was like before iPhones existed?
Remember what it was like,
and if you've grown up with them, damn. Yeah. Just throw it at the window and then just like...
It made me feel like I was back in the 90s, like back in like the days of primary school where you just used to walk. No one used to take photos of us.
Adults looked happier when I was a kid. Mm. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
More people smoked back then. Right?
There was like some weird like habits like sugar consumption was
Yeah, it was worse.
rampant.
Yeah.
McDonald's
people
was
drank.
super popular.
I think drinking's up now. I think the alcohol sales are up.
McDonald's is still popular.
I think it was bigger back then, but...
Do you think?
Yeah, there was less like options though. I think there wasn't like trendy burger places you could go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Macca's.
McDonald's is still killing it. I love a bit of McDonald's. But it was all about Macca's and like go get an ice cream, like the chocolate flake, and why not have a cookie?
Yeah,
and
life
like,
was easy back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just like you just had the TV.
oh, the TV.
Yeah, and you had movies at the cinema.
Michael,
you had
people-
Blockbuster. You go like buy like a movie, like a videotape.
People
TV.
still have TVs.
No, but I'm just saying like free to air or like Foxtel or
I know
whatever
what you
listen,
mean.
you know.
Do you mean like your
It's
channels?
not connected to the web. It's not
Yeah.
Netflixing. It's not all that complicated. Like endless amounts of stuff to
Yeah,
watch.
I don't know. It makes me think like if I had a choice and I could choose to adjust things back to the 90s in the way that we just
Like your
had
phone.
like clearly I have chosen that. But I would. I seriously would. I understand like what are the positives of technology? The podcast. This is super cool that we can connect with our friends around the world, and I am genuinely calling everyone
it's
who
so much
listens
fun.
our friend.
Yeah, I think I was starting to put a lot of pressure on myself, like when we're on our run. Like I think we'd done about 17 episodes or something, and I was starting to get really like caught up in it a bit about like people's like. I think we got a few like mean like reactions to it, but then I started to get a bit caught up in like how to make it the best thing ever. But the main thing is that we're just enjoying ourselves and talking, and if that's like enjoyable or not enjoyable to people, who cares? Like, do I really care what someone else does on a podcast? Like, if it's good, it's good. It's bad, it's bad.
I think we've discussed this before. Yeah. Connection occurs when there's an energy that people want to absorb, and this is like
we did episodes that like I thought were bad, but people were like, it was good. Like I enjoyed it. So it's really confusing. The ones that I thought were great, people were like, nah, it's the worst. So,
but I think that's maybe an interesting lesson in life. It's not about kind of trying to break down things to a level where the objective is to impress people. Is that what you're kind of getting at? I feel like that's achieved through genuine connection, through genuine just having fun, laughing.
I mean,
like that, you can't force.
There's something about like caring and not caring at the same time, you know? I think there's like some...
It's a delicate balance, because if you don't care, you just don't record.
But you want to care enough that you do it, but don't care enough that you're cool while you're doing it. Because the people who like, get too caught up caring about what everyone's thinking and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that like I've been watching the Kill Tony thing, and comedians are so cool. They just
cool or cruel.
Both, but they care and they don't care at the same time. They're just like they don't care what people think,
but
they still do. They don't go like everyone's like, oh, they go too far. Not that. Like they know when there's this line. There's a line they kind of universally agree upon, and they're like, oh, you can't make jokes about that.
But what is this idea of going too far? I feel as though if people no, you can definitely go too far.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It's complex though, isn't it?
I think it's reading like the situation, like who's there, but also it's not even just who's there, because everyone's watching. The world's watching everything now, so anything you say, it's got to be in a taste that universally agreed upon isn't too far. Like if something just happens, like something bad happens in the world, you can't just make jokes about it or something. But something about like if enough time passes, you're allowed to make jokes about it. There's like a certain amount of time.
But what is that?
Perspective or something.
I still feel as though it's kind of...
And some things you can never really joke about. It's not like, there's some topics that you just still never okay to laugh at.
Yeah, true. I know. It's kind of like, it would be great to say, like, everything's open for comedy and finding humour in. But some things are so devastating and cruel. I think when there's that sense of people being hard done by, and it's like just unfair, and you go excuse me, you go, how can life be so cruel? I think those topics we don't have to
I think it also depends how close you are to the thing too. Like if it's like making fun of someone or like a minority group. Like if someone, like if you just make fun of someone who's disabled and you don't know anyone who's disabled, it'd probably come off as pretty cruel. But if you
Even
know
when
someone
you
who's
mentioned the word
disabled,
disabled, I started to smile. I don't know why.
yeah, but then if you know someone's disabled, it's like, well, it's kind of different. You're like,
Should I tell everyone my little skip about invisible disability? So I think this is pretty good, but I've ruined it already because you should never start anything with like, I think it's good.
Just go.
Just go.
Yeah, just...
You guys can decide. So I've got an invisible disability, and I've got this massive. It's a very serious issue that I suffer from, because sometimes Michael can't find me. Funny. Oh, not so funny. Not so funny. I didn't set it up right.
Yeah.
I'll do it again better next time.
Yeah, I think you said different last time.
I did say it differently. It's very hot in this room.
It's hotter now.
It's very hot.
Yeah, just need to disappear.
Yeah, I wish I was just invisible.
Yeah, I think it's best to like write down your joke and then you like.
I think it's just the best thing, like observing comedy, and it's one of those things that you can learn, but it's definitely one of those things that some people just have a knack for. Like, you're just born.
I think some
funny.
people are definitely funny than others, but they all work
Yeah.
hard at it. I don't think like, yeah, there's like years that comedians put in where they do, they bomb on stage.
I think I felt too much pressure to like, it's really hard being funny, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think like they're prepared. If you're gonna like make a joke and go on a thing, you can,
Yeah, you've got to practice. Like anything.
Yeah, you said it great
perfect.
the other day. It was funny. But then,
Thanks.
Yeah, you just got to write it down and then just have it.
I'm not
in
going
your head.
into a comedy career, so we'll survive.
Oh, was this good though? It was funny if you did it. Everyone's going, "What was the joke now?"
What was the joke? Maybe like it's not even like it's so not funny. People just think I'm invisible.
That's sad though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want a role. You're like talking about the flower, that like sunflower they give you.
Yeah.
To like demonstrate that you have an invisible disability.
Yeah, and I'm
public
like, it's
transport.
like people can't find me, and I have to wear this like embarrassing sunflower lanyard. Like, what's worse? Yeah. Anyway, so I think it's awesome that we're like connecting again with everyone. This cupboard's getting super hot.
It's so hot.
It's so hot. I feel like I'm going to melt.
Okay, well let's wrap it up.
We're gonna wrap it up, and I don't know.
Do people say wrap it up? Because we used to say that in construction. We used to say
Wrap it up.
wrap it up at the end of the day.
Yeah,
so I
wrap
just
it
say
up.
that to you, but I don't know if anyone else says that.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap
Do other
this
people
up.
say that?
People know what we're talking about for sure.
Is that a term used in all industries, or is it just construction? I don't know.
Because you guys use like plastic or something.
It's just
No, I
trades
think it's
go,
like
let's wrap
quite
it up, boys. Let's wrap it
communal.
up.
Yeah. No, universal.
Okay.
And communal. It's getting hot, guys.
What are we wrapping up though? A present? Like what's
Yeah, no, it's definitely not a present.
wrap up the like picnic basket.
Yeah.
And the...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
I don't know. All right, see you
It's
guys.
been fun, everyone. Sophie's gonna work on a.
Yeah,
on a
I'm
1
gonna.
minute.
Sorry about that really bad joke. That's what you. But anyway, that's an example of a bomb.
Yeah, it'd be good if you could
Comedy
just
bomb.
like you bomb on stage and then you just go invisible. You just disappear.
I know. I feel like I
Get
wish
off the
I could do
stage
that
quickly,
right now.
no one can tell. Or you just stand there and like listen to what they say and you just cry.
Oh, literally.
Yeah.
I'm like,
We can
oh,
still
yeah.
see her lanyard. Get her.
The sunflower.
Yeah, I can still see the
Yeah.
sunflower.
We can hear her crying. That's a good one. I love that. Like, I felt a bit embarrassed. Like, it was just a bit like it didn't land. And then I was like, okay, all right, show's over.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. We'll work on it. We'll try.
We'll work on it.
Yeah. Maybe we should start the show and do that, like the Kill Tony thing. We'll like
Yeah.
come out and do like a minute and like
Yeah, let's
like
do
comedy
that.
and then
It'll
just
be
like-
entertaining for one reason or another. For one reason it's funny, or one reason
Yeah.
it's not
Well,
funny and
what I
embarrassing.
love is the energy and the enthusiasm they put into the show. He's like, let's have the best effing night of our lives. Like, are you ready for the best effing night? Like, he's so excited, the host.
Yeah.
And then, like, the energy is great. And, like, they're so funny. So, I don't know. I just enjoying, like, and if we could, like...
I was saying the other day, a dream of mine. This sounds so silly, but I wish comedians would kind of band together and come out with like a way to guide the world a bit. It sounds so stupid, but hear me out. There's groups like religious groups or political groups. What about if comedians replicated, like whether it's like a religion or like a political party, but they kind of had their own policies or like their own way that they interpreted the world and encouraged people to, I don't know, like they set the rules, you know. I just would love that if comedians
the comedian party.
The comedian
party. You can like vote for it on the ballot.
I would vote for it because I think everything feels better if you include some comedy.
From like listening to a lot of podcasts of comedians and watching comedian specials, it's hard to know people really who they are, but I think that they usually seem like good people deep down. Like it seems like they've got the moral compass of the world.
Let's like explore this.
They probably say, "Oh no, we shouldn't be in charge of anything, honey." So they'd probably be the first to say that.
Sure.
They're so wild and crazy, but
I feel like
they seem like good people, but they do, you know.
It's the fact that they're wanting to make people laugh. Like, what's a more beautiful characteristic to have?
Obviously,
in a
they're
person?
likable. It's a bit of like the show and like watching them on the stage makes you like them. But they definitely, to me, anyway, maybe it's the ones I listen to are good people. They're people who go, I've heard comedians who are horrible people, but I think
it's the ones that are likable are the ones.
I think they keep reality in check. They keep everyone, you know, from going crazy.
I was just thinking about it the other day. I was like, if there was a party that kind of had that aspect to it, I think it's so positive. It's a little bit like my love of yoga and spirituality.
Like obviously they have no idea how to run things in parliament and all sorts of stuff, government, but I think they probably needs to be more of a voice or something in like on the news or like I don't know, the mainstream.
A comedic voice?
Yeah, like a comedian representative. Someone who can like, you know, talk to the Prime Minister, the President and say,
just kind of like
let's lighten the mood here. I know we had to like increase taxes, but we can make a funny spin on it.
Yeah, like let's
give them a joke.
Like, we don't all have to just stop panicking.
I know we're going to war, but we can try and... Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Okay, let's go. Okay.
All right, let's go.
Much love.
Love you guys.
Vote number 1. Comedian party.
Comedian
Peace
party.
Out.
Woo.
Bye-bye.
See ya.